Welcome to DEMOVIDS Live. Let's get these pedal boards over here.
You got to get over here.
Yeah.
So that's the controller of the brain. The Bob Bradshaw of Custom Audio Electronics. This is his signature foot controller. I think they're upgraded to newer models now, but basically all those things we talked about over there, the 3 boogie channels, the wrap pedals, the Mxr Distortion Plus. I can mute either amp, the fuzz, the OCD, the fuzz factory, the tremolo, and the reverb on the Garnet. The stereo effects loop, I've got a TC rack unit over there I just use for standard reverbs and delays occasionally. And then this pedal board loop, which introduces this. This is all on one loop, so that's either in or out, all of that stuff. And I use this thing here to decide what's going to be on it when I do get there.
Wow. So do you have different program loops in
Right,
here as well?
so you can decide what's going to be in there and just hit the save button on the back.
That is
and
wild.
so like clean channel is nothing. It's the guitar. The guitar doesn't pass signal through any of this. It goes straight to both amps with nothing in between, so there's nothing to ruin the signal.
And then you've got the effects loop coming out to the back here. Gotcha.
Right, so everything's out. And then
It's funny, I've always been just guitar, pedals, amp.
yeah, and that'll suck you. When you have this much stuff going on, it'll suck your signal out before you get there, you know? So this way, if I don't want any of it in there, there's not all this 60 feet of cable and all this other bullshit. It's just straight in there. And so, yeah, you know, half gain, I go to that channel, and Mxr Distortion Plus. Full gain, you know, the bridge pickups on, boogie lead channel, boogie rat. It allows me to choose all that stuff. And
It's too complicated. I can't keep up.
it is complicated.
I promise, it sounds great, though.
But Bob Bradshaw was my hero when I finally found him, because I was still doing this with only consumer level stuff, which now there's actually a lot of options for a guitarist. As you know, like the pedal world has gone nuts, and there's a lot of ways that people can choose analog signal loops with MIDI controllers and have all that going on now. But there weren't a lot of options when I started this in the early 90s, and so this was a godsend.
Yeah,
Find Bob.
You guys were one of the first bands that I saw really using a massive amount of guitar effects, and you know, blew my mind.
So this is my modulation board, and it changes tour to tour. This is kind of my most minimal version.
Yeah.
It's got my standbys on it, which the Mu-Tron phaser has been on every record since probably Times of Grace, I think.
That is maybe the greatest phaser ever made.
It is the greatest phaser. I've got 3 of them, but that's the one. That one right there.
That specific one.
That specific one. It plays itself, and you know, since I actually am not a good guitar player, I can just turn these things on. You know, that's my secret, really. I just change tunings or change pedals, and then this same 2 things my fingers know how to do sound different. So
yeah, just let that do all the work, and you just look pretty.
yeah. So what else is on here? Microsynth, Electro-Harmonix microsynth. Again,
Classic.
I use 4 different settings in this set, so it's kind of a pain in the ass. I got to get down there and change all those sliders.
Oh, really?
That's why it takes a little long between certain songs. If anybody knows anyone at Electro-Harmonix, if they could make one of those that has saved settings, you'd be my personal hero forever and ever.
Boom. $1 million idea.
Saved presets.
$2,000 idea.
I just wanted the pedal. Yeah. I'll buy it. Mxr Carbon Copy, really juicy sounding, analog delay.
Yeah,
I like how the repeats are dark.
Yeah, what I love about the Carbon Copy is you can just put the regen all the way up and just let it go for as long as you want.
Every night. Vibe Machine, made by Drybell. I believe they're in Croatia.
Never seen that before.
It's another Univibe type pedal, and I read a lot of reviews of it. I was trying to get a smaller box. I was using both the Dunlop Univibe, the old one in the big silver box, and a couple other ones over the years, Mojo Vibe. But this one's been on there for a while, since I have this condensed board for these tours. Retrosonic Chorus, a classic kind of reproduction of the CE1.
Oh, beautiful.
Good for those gothy bits.
The gothy bits, you gotta.
Gothy bits.
They're very important.
And then this one here, this Wah Wilson Effects. This is kind of a remake of the Parachute Wah.
Yeah.
Right. I also have the Chicago Iron Parawas, which I like quite a lot. This has a smaller profile and some more adjustments there, but it's basically more of a unique wah. I don't use a wah as a traditional player would. I don't
Yeah, I mean, I've
play shaft or Stevie Ray Vaughan licks. It's more of a filter sweep.
Yeah, it seems like it's your "I'm gonna murder the crowd" pedal.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just. I wish I had a Moog for a second,
Yeah.
like filter from high end down to below hearing.
Perfect. It's like a foot operated mode.
Yeah, and so this does that. You know, it's got this interesting phase mid-range growl across the middle. It's more three-dimensional than a standard wah, and it dips down so low that it almost is a volume cut. Almost.
Yeah, that was one of the first things I noticed. You know, was your wah, like when you hit the wah, I was like, what the. That does not sound like any wah pedal I've ever used. That sounds incredible. What is that? I want that.
It's way more synthy. And I didn't know this till after I got into that Chicago Iron one, but both Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler used the Parawah.
Oh. So
that's that electric funeral business.
There you go. That's a glowing review right there. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
Right on. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Right
It was
on.
awkward, but fun. You made it less awkward.
Oh, well, I make everything. I'm just generally kind of awkward.